Committee to provide documentation and also appear before the Senate Adhoc Committee on the purported application of $3.5 billion petroleum subsidy. The chairman may wish to note that NNPC does not operate any $3.5 billion petroleum subsidy funds as alleged. There is no provision for subsidy in the Appropriation Act since 2016. So it will be illegal for NNPC to operate any account on subsidies. However, the committee may recall that since September 2017, the 145 naira per liter approved retail pump price cap for petroleum motor spirits, PMS or petrol, has become less than the open market price of imported PMS. As a result of that, the oil marketing companies, who accounted about 30% of the PMS supply into the country, withdrew from importation since October 2017. Mr. Chairman, I also recall that the fuel supply crisis that engulfed the nation in late 2017 to early 2018 initially propagated by a rumor that there was going to be an increase in the pump price of PMS. Coincidentally, about that early part of December, one of the industry unions, the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Associations, also threatened a strike action. These two activities create a lot of upheavals in the supply of products, which was cashed upon by the oil marketing companies. And this disrupted the supply and distribution of petroleum products with severe hardship and being inflicted on Nigerians. The subsequent panic buying, diversions by players in the industry, and in fact even smuggling during the crisis resulted in significant depletion of the national PMS reserve. We normally try to maintain a 30 days sufficiency so that if there is no production from refineries or importation, the country should be able to survive or meet its PMS requirement for 30 days. However, due to those activities, our sufficiency dropped significantly to 14 days, and by the 19th of January 2018. This necessitated action from government, and of course in line with the federal government's directive, which of course was equally endorsed by this distinguished National Assembly, when during a hearing on the 24th of January 2018 on the fuel crisis, the joint committees of the National Assembly directed us, and I quote, NNPC should do all it takes to flush the queues, restore normalcy, and maintain the minimum of 30 days sufficiency. For us to do that, we took certain actions, Mr. Chairman. One, we came up with a program which will entail the injection, an immediate injection of 675 million liters of PMS, that's 15 cargoes in January 2018, in addition to the 1.4 billion liters that would have supplied through our direct sales, direct purchase arrangement for the month of January that are already planned. For the month of February, we are also to do the same, to inject a further 675 million liters of PMS, or 15 cargoes, in addition to 32 cargoes, or 1.45 billion liters of PMS in February. A further injection to stabilize the supply of 273 million liters each for the month of March and April, in addition to planned direct sales direct purchase supply of 1.15 billion liters in each of those months. These, of course, we achieved with resultant PMS costs under recoveries. Because obviously, since the price that we sell is below the price that we apply, there are under recoveries. There are thus under recoveries arising from these differentials between the 145 naira per liter and the higher open market price of the imported PMS. Due to the potential impact of higher direct sales, direct purchase crude oil cargoes on the Federation Account Committee's remittances, the joint venture cash costs, and other contractual obligations, the NNPC had to devise other means of securing the required additional PMS volumes outside the DSDP arrangement on the advice of the National Assembly leadership that I have consistently been consulting, and the Governors Forum. Thus, the NNPC is utilizing $1.05 billion from the NLNG Dividends Fund to finance the additional PMS requirements in augmenting the DSDP supply. This 1.05 billion is being administered under a steering committee that is the highest approving body that was set up, and a working committee that is looking at daily operations of this fund. These committees are comprised of representatives of the Office of the Minister of Finance, the Office of the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency, the Petroleum Equalization Fund Management Board, the Directorate of Petroleum Resources, and the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation. So the fund that will be excised from the Nigerian LNG Dividend Fund is being administered transparently with laid out processes and governance. And every cargo that is exported under this program had gone through a proper tendering process through which the most competitive supplier is selected. I would like this honorable committee to note that the actions of NNPC were in compliance with the National Assembly's directive that NNPC, as a supplier of last resort, should and has maintained robust PMS of petrol supply and distribution to the nation, as no other oil company imposed PMS due to the high landing costs above the 145 naira per liter, and also the lack of the provision for subsidy in the Appropriation Acts since 2016. The chairman and members of the committee may wish to note that NNPC will continue to guarantee the energy security to the nation by maintaining sufficient PMS supply at the approved pump price of 145 naira per liter, except directed otherwise. NNPC does not operate any $3.5 billion petroleum subsidy funds as alleged, as there is no provision for subsidy in the Appropriation Act. That the NNPC is utilizing $1.05 billion from the LNG dividends to purchase the additional PMS required to augment the SDP supply in line with the provisions of his Act, Section 7, Subsection 4B, that mandates NNPC to defray its costs from its revenues of operations, one of which, of course, is the Nigerian LNG dividends, for which NNPC is a shareholder. The combination, I also wish the committee to note that the combination of the crude price fluctuation and its attendant impact on landing costs of imported PMS will continue to deplete the $1.05 billion that has been set aside by NNPC to augment this price disparity as long as PMS retail price is capped at 145 naira per liter. The capping is outside the purview of NNPC. It's under the directive of the National Assembly that legislates what the price shall be. The committee may also wish to note that the $1.05 billion is being administered under two committees, the steering and working committees, with representatives from the offices of the Minister of Finance, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, the Central Bank of Nigeria, the PPPRA, the PEF, and DPR and NNPC. This ensures transparency in the management and deployment of the amount. We will provide the documentation as advised in the letter we received from this honorable committee in due course. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and distinguished members of this committee. Thank you, sir.